What's going on, guys? It's your boy TJ Lowerman, aka ThatSportsGamer, and I'm here to break down another team in MLB 13, the show for you. Today's team, if you haven't guessed, is going to be the San Francisco Treat, and I'm not talking about Rice-A-Roni, I'm talking about the San Francisco Giants. They got a bunch of great young talent, but kind of lacking on the depth. A couple of key players in this team are going to be Pablo Sandoval and their great pitching staff. So let's just hop over there and take a look at the team. All right, as you can see, we got the number 1 and 2 players in this team are Buster Posey and Matt Cain. Buster Posey's got some amazing contact numbers and power versus lefties, as well as clutch vision discipline, but we'll get to him in just a minute. We're going to take a look at the starting rotation of Cain, Bumgarner, Lincecum, Vogelsong, and Zito. I mean, those are 5 guys over the 80s, which not many teams in this game have 5 dudes over the 80s, and with 2 guys that are over 90, that's pretty amazing. Lincecum's an 89, which is pretty surprising the way that guy's been pitching the last couple of years. Hasn't been really on his game as much as earlier in his career. One thing that really does worry me is that Vogelsong and Zito are getting up there in age, so you might only have them for 1 or 2 more years. But the guys behind them in Heston, Surkamp, and Kickham, and look at that, you got Booth Bonser down there. Those other 3 guys are in their mid-20s and pretty decent ratings. Nobody really jumps out with an 8 potential, but this should be pretty good for when Zito and Vogelsong decide to move along. In the bullpen, you got some pretty good guys in Casilla, Affeldt, and Contos. Casilla's pretty nasty. He's going to get some save opportunities this year in real life, and Affeldt's going to be your good lefty coming in like the 7th or 8th inning to face somebody tough. But he can also get out righties, so that's really good for him. Other than that, and as you can see, they're both in their mid-30s, so you might want to watch out about that. Affeldt can get out lefties and righties, but if you're looking to get lefties out, you might want to go with a guy like Javier Lopez. He's got some skills, and he's a sidearm thrower, so he's going to be fun to play with. And, of course, your closer is Sergio Romo. The rest of the guys behind him aren't that great, but Romo's got some pretty good stuff for the 9th inning. Behind the plate, as we said, Buster Posey, amazing contact versus lefty and power versus lefty. Really good contact versus righty and some decent power versus righty. One of the best catchers in the game with some great blocking skills. He's got that A-pod. He's only 25 years old. Behind him is no one really. Hector Sanchez, I guess is the pro guy. He's got some good contact numbers, but not really much in the power and a deep potential, so he's probably not going to get any better. So in the event that something, this is a video game, so it's not like real life where you're going to have to think about moving Posey to first base. You might want to start thinking about a backup catcher, but probably not because he's going to be fine. Speaking of first base, you got Brandon Belt, who's only 24 with a 73 overall and an A potential. He's got great contact numbers, pretty decent power numbers. One of the things I've noticed about this game is that the power numbers, even if you're in like the 60s and 70s, you're going to be pretty good. Same with the contact numbers, so I may be saying that they're good, but their numbers don't really look like it, but that's just something with the numbers this year that even 60s and 70s are actually pretty decent numbers for hitting. Going to second base, back to first base for a second. As you can see, no one behind Belt is really that good, but Belt's going to give you some pop from the first base spot. At second base, you got Marcos Cataro, who's getting up there in age, but he's still an 85 and got great contact numbers. Not going to hit a bunch of bombs for you, but he's going to be a very good second baseman overall for you. Behind him is Joaquin Arias. He's all right, good contact versus lefty. He's going to be more of a bench guy for you. Look, they got Tony Abreu down here, too. I wonder what that guy's been up to. Moving on to third, you got Pablo Sandoval, a.k.a. Kung Fu Panda. 26 and an A-pot. That guy's just going to go up from his 86 rating. But, again, nobody really behind him on the bench. Shortstop, 26-year-old Brandon Crawford. This dude's kind of a beast. Doesn't really have the hitting numbers that match how he is in real life, but he's got some great fielding statistics, as you can see with the 93 fielding. He's going to be good for you. He's one of the tough guys to face. When I've played the Giants in this game, Brandon Crawford's always been one of their better hitters, even though he doesn't have those really great numbers. Left field, you got Gregor Blanco. Not really that great, but he's got some decent contact against righties, some decent speed, and some decent defensive stats. One of the things that I was thinking of with this team as we move to center field, you have Angel Pagan, who's got some pretty good contact numbers, but again, not so great on the power. You have Andres Torres as your backup center fielder. He could probably end up playing left field for you. He's got some good speed and some good contact numbers, and his overall is higher than Gregor Blanco, so that might be something you want to think about when you're doing a franchise or just a number of games with these guys. Then in right field, you got Hunter Pence, who's a 90 overall. Look at that, great contact, great power numbers. Again, as I said, I call them great, even though they're in the mid 70s, because they are going to hit a bunch of bombs for you. Also, great fielding, great reaction time, great durability. This guy's not going to be on the DL too often. But also, as I said before, not many great guys in their depth in right field, or actually any of the outfield. Gary Brown, I guess he might be one of your guys to look at. Is only 24 with a B pot and a 75 overall. He can also play the corner outfielder spots, so you might want to think about moving him up and playing left field normally. Actually, a lot of left-handed bats on this team, so playing someone like Gary Brown in left might be good to switch it up a little bit. So those are the San Francisco Giants. Yeah, as I said, pretty good young arms in the rotation, except for Vogelsong and Zito are getting up there. But Zito's really coming into his own now in real life. And they got some great guys around the field, even though they don't have much backing them up. I hope you liked this video, and if you did, I'd really appreciate a subscription up top and a like down below. Tell me what you think of the San Francisco Giants this year in MLB 13, the show. And as always, you can follow me on Twitter at ThatSportsGamer. I appreciate you watching these, and we'll be coming back with next up is going to be the AL Central, so stay tuned for those.